almost afternoon. So, happy afternoon. And then if you're on the East Coast in the United States, it probably is afternoon. It's probably like, what, 12:11 in New York right now, since it's 11:11 here. So I'm going with afternoon. It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime. I was, kind of just took the morning to just kind of chill. I've just been running and going for the last couple weeks so much that I just need the morning. I need the morning. And hey, morning, Patrick. Morning, Addison. And some of the stuff that has been coming up for me over the last couple days is really around criticism. And I know that some people are going to watch this and think that I'm talking about that. I'm actually not talking about them. I'm talking about a whole bunch of scenarios that's happened that people have brought to me and that I myself has experienced, and just stuff that I've kind of realized. And, we really let criticism get to us. We let other people's judgments, ideas, opinions, beliefs of who they think we should be and who they think we are derail our growth, derail our abundance, derail our joy, our happiness. We let their criticism steal it away. And we should just be grateful for their criticism, because here's the beautiful thing about criticism. Number one, criticism only comes from people that are not actually in flow, that have no concept of flow. They are so caught up in their own crap that they are looking out and they're seeing their crap everywhere, and they see it in you and they see it in me. So when you're blowing and you're going and you're enjoying your life, and other people are struggling or frustrated, not getting in there and doing the things that they need to do for themselves, they get pissed off that those of us who are out here in flow have that shit going on, right? And I've noticed that a lot of the times the criticism that comes up, it's this idea of, I'm going to tell you what you're doing wrong. I'm going to tell you how you should be, how you should be doing this. And I kind of take, I used to, back in the day when I was young, dumb, and stupid, I would actually believe the things that people who were not ever going to do what I was doing, who had no freaking clue as to what was going on in my world and had no idea about any of it, I took their words for gospel almost and allowed them to dictate my choices. And I know that a lot of you out there do this too, where are you letting other people's judgments, ideas, direct your life, your dreams, your goals? But current day, I kind of just go, F you, whatever, until you get up in my shoes, until you are living the life that I'm living with all the different things that are going on. You got no right to even have an inkling about what is going on, right? So don't try to think that you know any better. That's why we need leaders. That's why we need mentors. That's why we have coaches in our life. We have these people in our life that we look to. It's like, who knows Tony Robbins? Give a shout out. Put a hearts up. If you know Tony Robbins, put a hearts up. If you know people like that, do you know who's familiar with the name Stephen Covey? Who's familiar with those people out there who are leaders in the self-growth industry, who are out there who are really selling a certain style of life, right? And they're teaching the principles of how to be proactive, to put it into Covey terms, how to be proactive and have the life that you want in your relationships, in your money, in your health, in your business, in all those areas. Well, those people, the reason why they can be leaders is because they are doing it. And if we're not doing it, would you walk up to Tony Robbins and say, hey Tony, I really think that you should work out more days during the week, because I think that your shoulders could be a little bit more buffed out than what they already are. I think that you don't drink enough water, because I haven't seen you drink that much water during this seminar. No, you would not, right? You would not walk up to Tony Robbins and you would not say that. The man is fit. The man is obviously healthy. The man is on point, and he is doing his shit, right? So we would not walk up to him and do that. Although I'm relatively sure that there are the people out there who are not drinking the water, who are not exercising, who are not doing the internal work, who are not putting their heads down and doing the work that they need to do. And they're also the ones that are probably ridiculing and picking and going, well, he could be better there, or he's such an asshole about that, or whatever, and seeing those little points. My point to this is that criticism, we can allow it to pull us back and to hold us. Can you imagine if, and Tony Robbins is a beautiful example because he came from such a background, like such a hard background growing up and everything. And he has really pushed through some amazing things. I encourage anybody to go out there and read Tony Robbins' personal story and just get a little familiar with what that man has moved through to get to the position that he is at in his life, to be able to help the masses that he helps. And he does it because everybody who has criticized him, all those judgments, all those opinions, he used it to fuel him. He did not allow that stuff to hold him back. He did not allow the other people who wanted to be the crabs in the pot to pull him back down into their reality. He did not let that happen. He went, no, instead I'm going to use this to catapult myself. I'm going to say thank you for your criticism, because your criticism allows me to see exactly the life that I don't want to have, allows me to realize exactly the relationships that I do not want to have, allows me to see my growth from where I used to be to where I am. And here's the thing with change, guys. Change is one of those things that when we are changing, when we are growing, the people closest to us don't actually see it. It takes them the longest period of time to actually witness the growth that we have had. The people that do not see us that much, now they see that growth. They see the new versions of us each and every single day, because we are a new version of ourselves every single day. But the people who are really close to us, our partners, our children, our closest friends and family, that's why they're like, well, you need to do better at this, you need to do better at that. And they bitch at us about these different things because they don't see the actual change. They're too close to it and they're holding us in an old pattern. But that old pattern is not ours, okay? And this is where you have to go, thank you for your criticism. Thank you for that viewing. Thank you for holding me back to, 5 years ago, to 2 years ago. And I love it with our parents. I always go, you're always a 12-year-old with your parents, right? You're just always 12, 13 years old. They're never going to let you get past that mark. They're always going to be, you can be 40, you can be 50, and your mom and your dad are always going to treat you like you're 12 because they're your seniors and they're your mom and your dad, and they just always know better, even though they don't even know the beautiful adult that you've turned into. They don't really fully understand the challenges that you've been through. But, that's just kind of a really good representation. If you think about, like, when you go and you visit your family, how old do you feel? How old do you feel when you are visiting your family? And the reason why you're feeling that is because that's where they're holding you. They're holding you in that energy. They're seeing you in that energy, in that space still. They might see the physical grown-ass adult that you've become, but they still feel you at whatever age bracket they have been holding you all this time. And you'll actually notice that there's tons and tons of studies done on this, where people will say that they'll go back home for the holidays and they instantaneously end up in these old paradigms with their families, with their siblings and with their parents and even old school friends, and that it's like time just ceased all of a sudden. It just like rolled back the clock, and all of a sudden they were stuck in this time warp back when they were siblings, and the fights and the conversations and everything will just kind of go right back to 20 years in the past or 5 years in the past or whenever it was, right? And that is that holding pattern that the people in our lives will hold us to. They also criticize us from those levels of understanding. So they think that they know who we are. They think they understand our hearts and our souls. They think that they really get us because, of course, they're our family, they're our closest friends, they're our spouses, they're our lovers, they're our children, they're all these people that really know us. But nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows your heart. Nobody knows your mind. Nobody knows what's going on inside your body. And when we buy into the bullshit that others want us to be feeling and experiencing and thinking, what we end up doing is we purchase their old view of us. We reattach to that old aspect of who we used to be, or that version of who we used to be. Hey, morning, Carol. Morning, Francisco. And it is really, really important to stick to where you're at, stick to exactly where you're at, who you are in this moment, and allow yourself to just not get caught up on those judgments, on those criticisms, on those viewpoints, those ideas of who others think you are, because that's where you let go of your dreams. That's where you re-anchor those old patterns in. And sometimes the reality is that you have to just kind of step away to all different kinds of levels depending on the relationship. Sometimes you have to just step and put some distance between you and those people who are trying to hold you back in that old version of yourself. Because if you want the life that you feel that you're called towards, if you want the dreams that you have envisioned for yourself, if you want to have, that thriving, dynamic business, health, relationship, but the old version of you couldn't hold it, and you have people in your life that are holding you in different ways back to that, you have to sever to a degree those relationship ties so that you can actually gain the air to be able to fully fly free into the person that you currently are. And it's scary, it's tough, it's hard, it's brutal in some ways, because nobody wants to be alone. Nobody wants to have a limited number of people. It's like we get our value from our relationships. A lot of us do. And the better relationships and the longer lasting and the more we have, somehow it makes us feel valuable. But what if those relationships aren't valuing the person that you are today? What if they're actually hindering you? What if they're actually holding you back and not letting you grow and fully feel the life that you are trying to create? You have to ask yourself, what's more important? That old version of me getting pulled back into that crab pot where people are seeing me, and that, was I happy there? Is that the life that I want to continue to live? Or do I want to move forward? Do I want to expand? Do I want to live, to thrive, to heal, to really step into my power? Because that's what it requires. It requires the strength, the courage to go, I love you, but with that love, I know that I also deserve so much more. I deserve the support. I deserve the love. I deserve the opportunity to be seen as the man or woman that I am today, stepping into my power today. Because yesterday's version of me, it's no more. That was yesterday. That was yesterday. That was the last month. That was last year. That was last decade. That's not me today. Me today has a different view on life, a different take on life, a different taste for life, a different hunger for life. Me today has a desire burning inside to have this. And yesterday I didn't believe I could have it, but today I do. And if I sit around and I listen to you and you and you, then I'm going to fall back in yesterday. And that's just going to stick me in that quicksand. And I'm going to feel like I'm drowning, and I'm going to feel miserable, and I'm going to feel depressed, and I'm never going to fully live this life. I may exist. I won't survive it, that's for sure. I may exist through it, but I'm not going to actually live. I'm not actually going to thrive. I'm never going to taste the version of me that I can be, that I can become. And I see it. And here's the little thing. If you want happiness, which is what we all want, right? We all want happiness. We all want connection. We all want to be seen and heard and to be accepted for the person that we are, so that we don't have to wear all these different masks and hide and fake, right? Good morning, Craig. We don't want to have to mask and hide and fake that stuff. We want to be happy. Well, that happiness is only going to come by getting into alignment, not with those people that are holding you back in yesterday. No, not with those people. That happiness will come only from getting in alignment to your soul, to your core. And the reason why you feel the hesitation and the fear and the doubt and the anger and the bitterness and all this crap feeling is because you're not in alignment to your soul. You're not in alignment to who you really truly are. And who you truly are, that bigger piece of you, that beautiful light that shines out of you, that you really are, that you are moving toward, if you don't buy into the bullshit of yesterday, if you step forward, well, that right there, that version of you, it knows the direction to go. It is strong in who it is. It knows your power. It knows your direction. And that's where that call, that pull is coming from. It's where that pull is coming from. And when you step and lean into that, it feels good, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel good to own your power? Doesn't it feel good to let go of yesterday? To go, yeah, that was yesterday. That was the old version of me. Today I know myself better. Today I feel lighter. Today I feel my heart more. Today I feel more on point, on purpose. Today I'm experiencing me more tapped into me, and that feels really, really fucking good. And then here comes that family member or that old friend or somebody coming along to remind you of who you were yesterday and telling you how they know you, how they really see you, and how they know that you can be better. They see you up here. They know you can be better. They do. But they see where you're not as good as what they think you should be, or as good as what they perceive you should be. And what is that actually doing? What is that criticism actually doing? It's pulling you back if you let it, and it's not going to feel good. It's going to feel ick, right? It's going to feel uck, and that is because you're stepping out of alignment to who you are. That uck feeling is you buying into the bullshit that they're painting of you yesterday, not of today. And here's the thing that you really got to realize is that the reason why they see the negativity that they see about you, the reason why they're offering up the criticism is because they're judging themselves. They're hardcore judging themselves. And they're seeing that same negativity, that same fear, that same lack of inauthenticity in themselves. And until they grow a pair and can step into their true self, don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. As a person in flow, a person in true soul alignment will not be in judging shoes. They will see you. They might see your faults, but they're going to appreciate your faults. They're going to say, you're being human just like me. Hey, we're all human here. We're all human here. This is all part of our growth. And you're perfect just the way you are. You're moving forward. You're dynamic. You got this. You got this. They're not going to judge and criticize and try to knock the legs right out from underneath you. A person in flow will not do that, because a person in flow wants to feel good. And it does not feel good to knock the legs out from under somebody else. It does not feel good to belittle somebody else. It does not feel good to judge and criticize and to make small or to point out the faults, to watch somebody crumble, to crush, to shame, to guilt somebody else. Does not feel good. That is not in anybody's core alignment. It isn't. That makes for a grumpy person, an unhappy person, a person that's not living their truth. And if you choose to buy into it, then you choose to step into that darkness with them and get out of your own beautiful alignment. So, I ask you today, where are you allowing others to steal your power? Where are you allowing others to step you into something that you are no more? Where are you allowing others to bring you back to yesterday, that old version of you? And what can you do today? What is one thing that you can do today? And feel free to just put your answers in the comments. Like send them some hearts or some likes here on if I'm touching you at all on this. If you relate at all, what is one thing today that you can do to stop buying into the judgments, criticisms, opinions, ideas, beliefs that others are offering you about you. What is one thing that you can do? Hey, morning, Jason. Jason, I just thought of something about you. I know Jason from way back. And I just thought about your cheesecake or something that you used to make. I was like, ooh, all of a sudden I saw your name and then I thought cheesecake. Is that not hilarious? I think I have that recipe someplace. I'm going to go look it up. Maybe I'll make it this weekend. Anyway, off topic, on topic. Here we go. Old stuff there. But what is that one thing that you can do to move yourself forward, to let go of those webs that others want to tie you up in? And then do it. Just do it. And when you think that you're done doing it, continue doing it, because that's what it requires. And yeah, you're going to lose people, or at least you're going to feel like you're going to lose people, and they're going to get upset at you because you're not going to be controllable anymore. You're not going to be this version of you that lets others own your ass, that lets their opinions dictate who you are. All of a sudden, you're going to have boundaries. All of a sudden, you're going to have direction. All of a sudden, you're going to have courage, and you're going to be glowy and happy and turned on and loving your life. And that's what living is about. That's what thriving is about. So, Carol, quit talking to people like that. Exactly. Quit giving them space. You know, unless they're renting it, unless they're paying you for it, don't let them take up that kind of space in your life if they're dictating that kind of way of living to you, because you deserve better. You're worth more. And as always, everybody, you know what I have to say, right? Stop existing. Start living. Okay, start living. If I've said anything on this Conscious Coffee that touched you, hit the share button. Thank you all for your comments, your love, your likes, for popping on today. Love seeing some new people on here and some old faces. I love you guys. If you want to reach out to me for one-on-one coaching, make sure that you do that. You can do that here in the comment section, or you can message me privately, or go to www.kendalwilliams.com and connect with me there, because I work with people all over the world to help you claim the life that you were born to live and be completely in your power, in soul alignment, because you are worthy of thriving. I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee.